we're here today to learn how to teach our dogs to do the long jump. It's called the long jump in USDAA. It's also called the broad jump in AKC. I'll use the term interchangeably today, so they sort of both come out of my mouth. So I try to call it the long jump, but sometimes either comes out. So this became a required obstacle in steeplechase a few years ago. So since then, we see it at most USDAA trials these days. It's also required in novice at AKC, although usually the approaches or the exits are fairly straightforward. So last fall, I was trying to come up with some new ways to teach my dogs the long jump. I wanted to find a way to make them responsible for understanding that this obstacle has an approach that they are to find. It has an actual entrance, that they should pass through it, passing through these two markers, and go all the way through it, exiting through these two markers. If for some reason their approach is not straight or there is a turn after the obstacle, I wanted them to understand that they need to straighten up their approach and complete the whole thing, not slice through the sides. If a dog does exit or enter it correctly, it is considered a refusal in USDA and needs to be fixed to not be faulted. But from watching dogs trial, a lot of times once they do slice through it, they're usually over the next obstacle before it can be fixed. And so at that point, it's an off course. So I sat in my training center one night just sort of looking at this obstacle, brainstorming for new ways to teach it. And the more I looked at it, the more the 4 marker poles started to take on a vision of 2x2s for me, because I do 2x2 weave pole training with my dogs. And so I thought that I would approach teaching them this obstacle the same way that I do approach the weave poles, is that it is their job to find the entrance. And so I just thought I would work the angles of approach very similar to how I do with 2x2 training.